welcome back to Smashing Heads Podcast. This is our recap for Spies, Lies, and Allies, episode 17. My name is Zach. I'm joined by my wife, Hannah.
Hey, what's up?
Best friend, Jake.
How's everybody doing tonight?
17's a lot of episodes, guys, for one season.
This season has been a lot.
19? Is that what it's going to be?
It looks like there's 2 more episodes.
Really?
To me, that's what it looks like.
And that's the end?
It seems like you're going to have this like night of elimination, what I'm assuming. And then
I'm actually really intrigued by.
I am too.
Like a purge.
I think you might have this night of elimination, and then the start of the final, and then the last episode is the rest of the final.
I hope. Oh my gosh, I hope. I don't think I can handle another regular episode.
I mean, I don't know why you're acting like this is like painful for you.
The last handful of episodes have been painful to watch.
I thought this episode was fine.
It was okay, but I mean, this.
What did it? What hurt the most? Was it being so close?
Being so close, yeah.
And having so much to say.
Yeah.
And then watching them walk away.
I watched Logan walk away, and that was. I was like almost physically sick over it.
God.
Yeah. She started gagging.
Oh my God.
No, I don't think I'm alone in this.
No, you're alone.
The
In
last,
this room, you're alone.
The last end of this season has just been a chore to watch through.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the last thing.
I disagree with that. I think the last season was like that. I feel like this season has paced itself much better than last season.
It is better than last season, but there's still a very it just drags. It just feels like
especially compared to All Stars, which we've talked about.
I'm not comparing it to last season. I'm comparing it to its own season. I'm comparing it to itself.
I don't think you can do that.
Well, I'm doing it because you're trying to make comparisons.
No, I made a comparison. I'm not trying. I made one.
It's the last handful of episodes have been boring and manufactured drama just for the sake of filling time, and it has been a chore to watch. And that's my feelings on it.
There was a lot, we've pinpointed like how a lot of these people have been like almost overacting in their confessionals.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that from Amanda this episode.
Yeah, but
really
that's been all
weird.
season. With her at least.
She
looked great though.
Yeah, I mean she's a beautiful girl, but
she never got back to you.
No, that's fine. We've moved on to bigger and better things.
She doesn't listen.
Fair hand can confirm.
Yeah, Jake's gonna go to the fair.
Yep. The Christmas fair.
Right.
So I do agree with that.
Talk to us.
Well, I feel like with Total Madness and Double Agents that there was it was limping to the finish line, and then the final for Double Agents was good, but I feel like this one's definitely paced itself better than those two. But it's still 19 episodes for one season's a lot. It's a whole lot. We used to get 30-minute episodes, and there was 10 for the whole season.
Think of all the stuff that we missed out on.
This is almost 6 times that long.
I think if they had cut this off at 15 or 16 episodes total for the season, they would have edited out some of that manufactured drama we talked about, and this season would have been a lot easier to finish through.
I just we just had so many new people on this season. It was going to take a while, and we still after this elimination, which I mean we're not even into really the recap yet. You still have 10 people left, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
so I guess you're going to get rid of one guy and one girl.
Yeah, so you're going to have 8 going into a final, and I'm assuming it's going to be an individual final.
Should be.
We don't know.
I still have always been a fan of a male winner and a female winner.
But
Yes.
I'm saying you compete individually.
Yeah.
Compete individually.
But it's totally what the women do are totally separate from what the men do as far as the times or whatever.
We had a top male and a top female finish.
Would not surprise me if, I don't know what the numbers are if you end up having the same amount of male female competitors. I'm assuming it's the same. I haven't really done the math on it. If you do all right, for this leg you have to team up with someone, and then the next leg you team up with someone else, that type. They've done that.
The one where Laurel and Zach got teamed up, and then Zach gave out.
Well, I mean, it's just they've done it 100 times. They did it on All Stars last season. They've done it on I don't even. They do it a lot, but so it won't surprise me if they do that. I don't think you're going to have the Ruby, Emerald, Sapphire thing going into the final. I mean, they could surprise me, I guess, but I just hope if they do that, it's not something where it's like, all right, well, they got more people, so they're going to have an advantage because.
No, you can't do that.
Especially with that much money on the line.
You can't do that.
But anyway, patreon.com/SmashingHeads podcast. It's where to get all the exclusive stuff. We're recording this weekend.
We are.
With, some more Survivor watch throughs because we've missed the boat on it being on Netflix. It's on Paramount Plus now.
Yeah.
So we got to do that. A quick note, just on a personal level, I was in the thumbnail of a BuzzFeed article.
Yeah, you made it big. People know who you are.
And it was one of our friends texted it to me because his wife was just randomly searching through BuzzFeed stuff, and she saw me and was like, hey, that's Zach. And it was.
Pretty neat.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
I talked to the writer of the article.
Okay.
Because I was like, hey, you used my picture. I was like, but you didn't use my review. And she's like, well, like the reason, she's like, I loved your review. The reason was I was looking for reviews based on like gift giving to fit the theme of the article. She's like, so I changed a lot of the pictures with that. She's like, your pictures were clearly the best. And she's like, if you don't want me to use the picture, I can get rid of it. And I was like, no. I was like, I think
I want all the clout.
best part that you used that. So shout out to all the 81,000 plus people on Amazon that have seen that review.
Well, do you feel like fame is on the horizon? Do you feel like we're going to have to start moving forward with just me and Han doing this pod?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's moving on to bigger, better things.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that picture and put it on our merch store to where you can get that as a duvet.
Oh my gosh!
You can't do that.
Do not do that.
Well, you could just
don't do that.
Just like a little like block image on just a plain shirt,
yeah.
right?
100%.
Like, how freaking cool would that be?
100%.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. Did he tell you?
We might do that.
Did he tell you? It may have been like this time last year, or maybe not. Maybe it been 6 months ago. COVID time is not real. Anyway, it was a while back. Somebody commented on his Instagram.
It's happened
post,
multiple times.
Just randomly commented and like tagged a friend and said, "Oh my gosh, I found him."
That's happened.
And like it came to be that like they were looking at the blanket, saw his review,
and then searched me up,
and then just like stumbled upon his personal Instagram and found the picture and were like, "This is the guy."
That's happened at least 3 or 4 times since that went up, and I was the subject of a podcast by comedians that were doing podcasts about funny reviews, and they tagged me in it on Twitter and stuff, and I was like, what? And they're like, well, we did an episode about this review. And I was like, okay. And they were followed, like, they weren't as big of a group. Like, I think they had like 10,000 or so followers, but they were followed by like big name comedians that I know. And so
he's trying so hard to get in their circle.
I'm not. I mean, you do good work. People recognize it.
Okay.
So you think Bo Burnham may have seen this?
He might have. You never know.
Yeah.
I don't think it was him.
I was thinking more
what would
along
you
the
do?
lines of like Tom Segura or
I don't remember.
like,
I could tell you.
Nate Bargatze,
Let me. I literally, if you give me 10 seconds, I
John
can tell you.
Mulaney.
Because the podcast followed me and the person followed me. Followed by Paul F. Tompkins and Jim Gaffigan and Daniel Tosh.
Oh, those are good ones.
Those are big names.
What would you do if Tosh gave you a call and be like, hey, man?
You want to come on my show that doesn't
Yeah.
exist anymore?
Out of the three of those, Tosh reaching out to you is like that's the most likely to happen.
No. Out of all of them, I'd rather talk to Paul F. Tompkins.
I know you would rather talk to Paul F. Tompkins because he's amazing, and I want to talk about bajillion-dollar properties all day long.
Everybody discovers their purpose at different points in life.
Yeah.
Han, if you've ever wondered why you married Zach, you're seeing it bear out.
It's because
I don't know.
I was
Sometimes I still
voted
wonder.
most likely to be famous in high school.
Most likely, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
that was
it's
like
happening.
a thing.
It's starting.
It's, you can't put an age on this stuff.
That's
right?
true.
And he's hit.
There's some actors who don't start until they're like 60.
Diamond Dallas Page.
Is
Well,
that
he's-
what you're doing? Are you waiting until you're 60 to start acting?
We'll see. I got
Diamond
a lot.
Dallas Page is one of the better wrestlers of all time. His career didn't take off till he was almost 40. And typically wrestlers get started in their, heck, when they're in their late teens. and but he was a hit. And
when you got it, you got it.
You got a few more years.
Maybe I'll take up wrestling.
Yeah. I mean,
you're not 40 yet.
Exactly.
Who knows? Speaking of wrestling, one of my favorite wrestlers always used to say, the only thing that's for sure is that nothing's for sure.
Are you sure that's a quote?
That's what he said.
Directly from your
Sting.
wrestler?
Jack Gallagher.
Sting.
Or was that a quote that he used?
He used it.
Yeah, but it's not his
There's
quote.
always a memory that comes up on my Facebook, by the way, that you like correct, because I said DC Talk.
Yeah.
I used this, I can't remember the quote, but I put quote in there, and then I put one of the guys in that group, his name's Kevin Max. And you went in there and said who actually said the quote, and you got kind of hammered for being a jerk about it.
Who was it? I don't remember this.
I don't remember who it was, but...
How long ago?
Oh, man, it's like 10 years ago.
Oh, see, I don't know.
Great story, though.
What do you do?
It was probably the biggest cause of atheism in the world today is... was it that quote?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not him.
Yeah, well, that's where I'd heard it, so...
He didn't even say it in the thing, I don't think. I think they just used a clip.
Well, there's, whoever smelt it, dealt it.
Yeah.
Whoever heard it, squirt it. So.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, check out BuzzFeed. And
I didn't know BuzzFeed was still around until you sent this to me.
What?
Okay, but
That's fine.
So, like 10 years ago, everybody was doing BuzzFeed quizzes and stuff all over Facebook. Everybody loved BuzzFeed. I have not heard from BuzzFeed in several years. So I didn't know that they were still, like, doing things.
I mean, we've literally watched BuzzFeed videos on YouTube within, like, the last 2 or 3 years.
Don't remember it.
Okay. So let's get into Spies, Lies, and Allies, episode 17.
Yeah, what you want to talk about?
Well, we can start with, Amy, fresh off the Big T beatdown, said she doesn't want to take any more cold showers for the rest of her life after that win, which I don't blame her. Jake, you and I went on a mission trip one time, and the only showers we had were
just a water
hose
outhouse.
with tarps around us.
Yeah.
And it was just cold.
Brutal.
Yeah. That's not fun.
It built your character, though, right?
No.
Yeah.
We were like, 17 and like 15 or 16?
Yeah, I'd say 15, 16.
Yeah. It was, we were still in high school. I remember that. So then we get CT FaceTiming with his wife and his kid, which we haven't seen with him. I think we saw Amanda do it. And then we had that one montage early on where like Ed talked to his mom on a boat and like
Ed was on this season.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. That's CT in dad mode,
Yeah.
He what was his kid's name? CJ. I knew it was C something. CJ. Mm-hmm. Do you think it stands for Chris Jr.?
What's CT's
There's
name?
possibility.
Chris
Tamburello.
Tamburello.
You think his is Chris Jamborello?
Yeah. They changed his last
I
name.
hope it is. I hope it's Jamborello.
Emmanuel, I don't remember if it was in the confessional or if it was to Tori or whatever, but he said if he won, he would move to the United States.
It was to Tori.
I gotta tell you, Emmanuel kind of creeps me out, man.
Why?
I think he's kind of a weird dude.
Do you think that's because there's just a cultural difference there?
No. I just think he's kind of...
he's real into, like, being a vampire and stuff.
No,
he's
no,
Romanian.
I just think he's kind of creepy. I think he's a weird dude.
I think it's his aesthetic.
I think it's what he's going for.
Yeah. Yes, I absolutely think it's what he's going for.
He said he would move to the U.S. to specifically, like, Los Angeles for, like, dancing and stuff like that, but he would also pay off all of his mom's debts in Romania.
That's not weird. But
yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Take care of your mama first.
I love my mom, man.
Do you love his mom?
Don't know her. Never met her.
But she's a mom.
But you got to answer.
Oh, yeah. We love the moms.
Okay.
If we're not FTK, we're FTM. For the moms.
Okay. So...
Moms, I like moms.
Yeah.
I like moms, too.
Nelson,
I like my mom.
Nelson wants...
I like Zach's mom, too.
Nelson wants CT to not make the final, which is a great call because... actually, one thing I did skip over when he was wrapping up that FaceTime call, he said the one thing he's never done is win back-to-back finals.
Yeah.
And
You think he'll do it?
I think he's got a good shot.
If he makes it to this final, I think
He's the favorite.
the chances of him winning are astronomically high.
I think he's for sure the favorite if he makes the final, if the night of eliminations isn't something screwy or whatever. But I mean, Nelson's like, we gotta get him out of here, and that's the smartest thing Nelson's ever said.
Devin called CT Chris. Mm-hmm. I made a note about that because that's a big deal.
But like people that are close with him,
people that are very close with him call him Chris. But I'm just saying, it's very rare. Even because most of the time, even the people he's really close with will still call him CT.
Carr calls him Chris,
and Johnny Bananas calls him Chris. There's just a select few people that call him that, and very few times you'll hear it. But I think the fact that Devin called him Chris in front of people, like he was in discussion with other people, I think that was just like, it solidified this is not just an alliance within the game. They are actual really real life friends.
I mean, they're both from like Boston area. Like again, like he's got close, like that's the same reason him and Kara always were like close, was because they both are from Boston. And so like Devin's right up there with them. Now I don't know if Devin and Kara are close, but I guess CT's a good guy. He knows good people. Devin's a good people.
Right.
Yeah.
So he was on the Kara train when she was like the young, like
underdog.
Yeah.
He loved her when she was
days,
the underdog.
I don't know, because I don't think I've seen enough. Again, it's the you live long enough, you see yourself become the villain thing. And he's done the opposite. He went 180
he lived
direction.
long enough to see himself become the hero.
Yeah. So
what a story.
We go into the daily. It's called Dead Drop. We've seen similar things like this before. Kind of, it's a race, but you've got to move something across, and then they're throwing these like, I guess they're weighted, like
punching bags almost, but they're really big.
Yeah, I don't know. It's almost like medicine balls type thing.
Probably. Yeah. You're probably looking about 10 to 15 pounds somewhere in there.
Man, that's heavier than I would think.
I'd say 10 pounds. I bet you
I was guessing about 10 pounds.
I didn't know how, because like you got to think it's got to be like, if it's too heavy, when you go to swing, you might throw yourself off.
That's a risk that they were willing to take.
But Sapphire goes first, and I mean, there's literally CT is the only thing to talk about. Kyle was not good, and Amy was just terrified. She tried, but she just wasn't good, and CT was just unbelievable, especially cause watching how everyone else did afterwards. For him to go first and to get 7 on his own is just crazy.
I don't think, a lot of them like kind of hunched down and like straddled the beam or whatever. I don't think he ever did that.
He just ran. He just ran, and then he used the balls to like counterbalance himself.
Yeah. So like when people threw him, he would catch it and use it.
Yeah, use the momentum against the way he was leaning, and then pull himself the way he wanted to go. And that's what Devin was like. He's amazing at this.
I bet this guy could build an astronaut or something.
He could build an astronaut. What does that mean?
Build a robot astronaut.
Build a spaceship, become an astronaut.
You know, do both of them. CT's actually like a brainiac, right?
He's got to be.
Like his dad was some kind of engineer or something.
That's ringing a bell, but I don't remember what it was.
Made him learn the trade of the family business, and that's why he's so good at math.
I think he talked about that last season, or maybe it was the beginning of this season.
It was in the final of last season. Okay. He talked about it. And he said that's why he's so good at math, because his dad made him do it all the time.
Well, I mean, he has like such a weirdly unique skill set that he's so good at all of these things.
Everything. And
I gotta give shout out to Devin on Twitter. I saw he was like, other than CT, who is like otherworldly at everything, he was like, your boy was the second best at this daily. And I was like, yeah, he's right. Like, I mean, everyone else kind of sucked.
Because the thing was, CT figured it out first, but Devin was the only one smart enough to watch what he did and follow suit.
And he ran upright.
You've got to run upright, be light on your feet, go quick. Because the thing is, the people that were throwing those medicine balls, they were waiting too long to throw them out. So by the time they would have like hit you, they're behind you.
Other than Devin, who I don't remember if it was when Ruby went or if it was when Sapphire went, he like targeted the capsule a couple times, and knocked it right out of their hands with that ball.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's so smart. And that's why, so like Ruby goes next. Only Logan's good at this. Nelson doesn't do anything, and Tori doesn't do anything, which is surprising that neither one of them could do it. Logan, maybe he's a little more agile. Maybe do firemen still slide down poles?
Do they?
That was always a
I
thing
don't know.
growing up.
I've never been a fireman, so I don't know.
I hope they do, but he's probably climbing ladders and doing all kinds of things that these people aren't used to. But he was good at it. But he only got 2. Like he didn't get 7.
But he got the only 2 for their team.
Yeah, which is not good. Again, record-breaking 51 daily losses for Nelson.
It just the clock keeps on ticking and the numbers keep on rising.
It's crazy because I think
the ticks keep on tallying.
After this episode, CT said this was his 55th daily win.
That's right.
Yep.
And
that's a big number.
So again, Ruby's not good. Devin's knocking them out of their hands. Ruby only got 2. Emerald goes last. Amanda just quits, just immediately jumps right off. Nani, they just let her run across, and she's like, oh, great, they're friends with me. And then they're like, no, they're waiting for you to get one so they can kill it. And
Yeah,
that way.
she figured that out.
Once she got across.
She got across, grabbed a capsule, figured that out, and she was like, oh, they're just going to wait for me to come back across. And then she just jumped off.
I mean, what else are you going to do at that point? Like,
at least try to run back.
Yeah, great effort.
I mean, she got halfway there. If she, it just doesn't make sense why she did that.
Hey, I understand. So her and Casey are in a relationship.
mm-hmm.
I understand when you get in a relationship with someone, you naturally kind of you go to bat for them, you hype them up and everything. I hate these little segments when she starts going, Casey is so honorable, humble. Like, shut up.
I had a note about that because I had a question about it because she's done it several episodes so far in this season, but this one in particular.
And by the way, wait, didn't they have their first date this season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But my questioning this was, why did she say it like at this moment during this daily? Because Casey didn't really do a whole lot.
She got a couple.
They could have
She
pulled
got
that
a couple.
confessional from.
It could have been out of
any moment.
context.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because again, it's so generic.
I didn't think about it because I was like,
But
at this point, I was like, Casey hasn't even gone yet.
But it's still like, now if she'd have been like, man, Casey's just good at this game, like, can't deny it. She's boring, but she is good. But like to start pulling out these so humble and being so just like over the top about it, so humble, just performs with such humility and grace. And it's just like, dude,
Bro, stop.
Yeah.
You should talk to her like that. That's
That
her
don't make
language.
any sense.
Again, Devin was good at it. I think Casey got the last one. Emmanuel, I don't think Emmanuel got any, did he?
He did.
Oh, he got one of the last ones. I knew he fell off a couple times.
I kept tallies because there are
did
fantasy
you?
points involved. Emmanuel actually got 2.
Okay. I know he fell off at first because I thought he'd be pretty good at it.
When Amanda jumped off, she was trying to climb back up the ladder, and TJ yelled at her, Amanda, you're not even close to running a final. Get up the ladder. This is a joke.
I don't think she got back up there.
She did.
Did she?
Yeah, she did.
Okay.
It took a while, but she did. I can't remember. Hold on. I took the tallies. Yeah, she actually fell twice.
I remember now. Okay.
Yeah.
So she had to have climbed up at least once.
Yeah.
Again, Emerald ended up getting 7 as a team.
But you know what? I'm sorry. Amanda performed with such humility.
Yeah.
And grace.
Her,
was so
her
honorable.
passion exudes through her.
Do you think she could build an astronaut?
I gotta tell you, Zach, she's got the hands for it.
What?
You've been looking at her hands.
Yeah.
She's got good hands.
I
They're very. She has pretty hands.
never once looked or noticed.
She's got good hair too.
So, even though Emerald got 7, they didn't get it as fast. So CT won the daily. Like that's all there was.
It wasn't Team Sapphire. It was CT won the daily.
Yeah, I mean, literally the other 2 didn't do anything, and so it's his 55th daily win, which I believe Greg in our Slack group said there's some contention to that. He said either the wiki's wrong or CT's wrong, or there's something in because That said, he had already had 55 wins. So he may be off by 1, or there's a miscalculation. Also, there's some like contentiousness of maybe it was War of the Worlds. No, it was some season a couple seasons ago where the top 3 teams counted as a daily win. If you just got in the top 3, which you're not technically winning if you're just in the top 3. But anyway,
maybe that was the difference.
It could be. They get back to the house. Kyle just goes straight Ace Ventura, just the loser thing over and over and over again, which he didn't do anything, which like Tori got kind of upset about. She's like, "That's like you've won something."
I don't think she was upset. I think she was like, poking fun at him, like, "Okay, come on."
I think it started as that, and then it turned into, "Oh, I've got to be playful about this." But he knows he didn't do anything. Like he's a moron sometimes, but like he's understands that CT carried that.
He's pretty self-aware.
Yeah, I think he knows what he is. So they go to this like marina and they have a dinner out there.
Before that, I just really need to say this because I don't know if anybody else caught it.
Be by somebody's hands?
No, but I said this to you and you're like, yeah. After the loser thing, Kyle and Devin are talking about the winning the daily, and Kyle says, now they've got to figure out how to save Devin from elimination. Yeah. And then the thing was, like, he almost like whispered it, I said he sounds like a Disney villain that's secretly going to throw him in. And I was waiting for like some kind of crazy twist at the end of this episode where he threw Devin into elimination.
Well, Kyle doesn't just have that power.
No, but
CT's going to protect Devin.
I know, but it very much felt like it was foreshadowing to something, because he was like, and then we've got to figure out how to save you. And it was just real weird.
What Disney villain was that like?
I don't know. It just it felt like your generic Disney villain.
I just think he just whispered it because
he whispered it in a weird way.
Oh, he's got an accent.
No, he said it weird.
I don't know what you want me to
accent,
say.
Not. It was just the inflection was strange, and it was just a weird way, and I was like, this feels like foreshadowing, like he's like something's gonna happen. It wasn't, but he just said it weird.
Well, they go to a marina dinner, and we haven't seen this type of night out. It was just kind of like a calm. I wonder, looking back now, if they did this instead of going to the club because they were doing the night of eliminations like right after that, and they didn't want people to just get like
super drunk
out of their mind. Yeah. So they're like, oh, we're gonna go have a nice dinner. Everyone dress up and drink a little glass of wine with your dinner, but like not just like drinking and dancing all night. Because if you're one of those people and you didn't know, and you just, all right, we're gonna have a night out because I'm safe. Who cares? And then you're like, oh crap, I have to go into. Kyle did that like 2 seasons ago, where he had gotten so drunk the night before, and then got thrown in and threw up everywhere.
Yep.
Because he's diabetic.
Was that why?
Yeah, because he hadn't had anything to eat beforehand. That's why he was so mad about being called in. He was like, I hadn't medically prepared for this.
Yeah, I kind of forgot.
That's why he was so mad.
So
that's why he threw up.
Logan tells his team that he's a man of the team, and Nelson says for sure like he wouldn't pick Logan if he gets called in there tomorrow. I mean, there's only 4 people left that can go in. It's Logan, Nelson, and then Devin and Emmanuel, and that's it. So it's likely it's going to be, you got a 25% chance of going in no matter what. And so we get to the nominations, and
Kyle dressed like a politician.
That's true. But Logan and Nelson both kind of threaten their group.
Their group?
Just everyone.
Oh, okay.
Like, everyone, like, if you do this, I'm going to blah, blah, blah. And then they get to Emmanuel, and he's like, please don't do it. And they're like, you got to give me something else. And he's like, that's it.
Well, CT asked, he's like, why would we not throw you in?
And he's like,
and he didn't say anything. He just looked at him, and I'm like, this is weird.
I was like, man, this is the worst, like, pleading your case to, like, save yourself
Well,
I've ever seen.
Even Emmy yelled at him. She's like, "Speak up! You have to say something to defend yourself."
It
And he
sort of
didn't.
worked.
I mean, it didn't because he got called in. He just wasn't the
well,
vote.
It worked in the initial moment. There was another Nelsonism. I don't know.
What was it?
He was talking about Devin, and he said he's no physical aspect.
Did he really?
Yeah,
I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that either.
Oh my gosh.
That's true. He's not an aspect.
Well,
Oh wow.
So-
I can't believe I missed that.
he did.
So
Man, I've missed that.
CT just kind of like lays it out at that point and is like, "What are?" He's like, clearly this guy Nelson is. I mean, Devin has done stuff for me. Logan's done stuff for me. Nelson's done stuff for me. Why should I not pick you? And then he just clams up, doesn't say anything, and then miraculously they just pick Logan.
Yeah.
Like I still don't really know why.
I don't understand. I knew that Emmy would not pick Emmanuel because that's her friend. And like the only thing that he actually says in his defense is that he's not here to throw people under the bus, which really doesn't make any sense. And in his own confessional, he said the lair isn't a place to prove yourself, which I think is the complete opposite.
Emmanuel said that.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. But
Like I think it's the complete opposite. You go to elimination, and elimination is where you prove how good of a competitor you individually are,
Well-
and you don't have a whole team of people to rely on to help you get a win.
The only thing I can think of is that Emmy like just told CT and like we please don't pick Emmanuel. That's my number one, because I think CT later said Emmy protected Emmanuel, and so they have enough of a respect for her that, I mean, ultimately, who cares between Emmanuel and Logan? Like it's a toss up anyway, and so that's why Logan's the pick, and they go into the elimination.
I do think if they would have compromised Emmanuel, I think he'd have picked Devin.
I do too.
I think he might have, except that he's on his team. That's the only thing.
I know, but like,
I think he still would have done it.
I think
Logan
Emmanuel strikes me as the type that's like whatever it takes to get to the final,
Which is
Yeah.
the right attitude.
Yeah.
It is, and I think considering the elimination at hand, I think he would have picked Devin.
I couldn't tell what the elimination was just by looking at it. Obviously, we've not seen this elimination yet.
I don't think Logan realized what it was either.
Logan for sure should have picked Devin.
I think he thought it was going to be a like physical strength, like you pull the missile outside a ring or something.
Emmanuel is just not the right pick for this, and I mean the only thing is you haven't seen him prove anything, and so Devin has kind of beat some people in the past. Probably just heard that around the house. Again, Devin's beat Bananas and Wes, and there's probably another one in there somewhere. And so Logan picks Emmanuel. Logan says he will not break his word, and I don't know what that's in reference to. Do you know what that is?
I don't. The only word I thought he had out there was to Nelson.
I guess that's it.
Oh,
He just said he wasn't going to pick Nelson.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was, that he wouldn't pick Nelson because he told him he wouldn't.
So this one's called Rocket Run, and I don't mind it as an elimination because, like, so we just talked about All Stars. Like, the tic-tac-toe thing was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is fine because it's simple, but it's
It's
like,
a last man standing.
yes,
That's what it is.
it's
Last man
similar
standing.
to that Kendall and Leah thing from the Inferno, where you're just walking back and forth
Carrying bricks.
all night, and it's kind of like an old school way, but adding the time element makes it a little bit interesting because you got to get back and flip a switch in a certain time. So I didn't mind this. I do think it's maybe one of the weaker eliminations of the season, but basically you just run, jump, flip a switch, run back, flip the other switch. You have 15 seconds to do it, whatever. Before they start, Logan said he's a demon and he's on fire, and I'm not really sure why he said that.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff in there.
Yeah.
He has no soul.
Yeah.
He's already dead.
Like, I didn't understand the context of any of that.
Yeah, I don't know.
So they get going, and Logan's taking his time, which I was like, that's a good strategy because 15 seconds is plenty of time. Like, take your time, whatever. Because, Emmanuel's, like, going.
Well, Devin was yelling out. He said 15 seconds is a long time, and he yelled out, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
And he's right. Like, that's exactly what it is. And I told Hannah, I was like, it won't surprise me if what happens is someone goes to, like, flip their switch and just gets a little too casual and, like, halfway does it and starts to run, and then it falls back and they didn't do it, and then, that's whatever. Or they trip going over the rocket. And... they're keeping pace. They cut it down to 10 seconds, and they're still doing fine. But Logan just trips, just catches the rocket with his foot, and he just lays there.
Yeah.
I'd like to know how long they've been doing it at that point.
Probably a long time.
I think at Delaney, I was like, this could go on for like an hour easy. With the 15 seconds, once they get to 10, it's a little different. So. I mean, again, he just lays there, and it's over. Emmanuel wins, and it's not like a super impressive win, but you still got to win.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so Logan San Pedro guarantees we will see him again, which I think he's done enough to be getting the call back. He's a little boring.
But look how far he got.
But he's a good competitor.
Yeah, but look how far Big T got last season.
Like Big T was the last one to go home this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
the last episode.
But this was like Logan went into 3 eliminations.
I do think it's different. Like
I get it. I get it. I guess I'm more like, if he came back, fine. If he didn't, fine.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be upset if we never see him again. But I think he's done more than like. He did more than like people like Josh, who got a call back for no reason from the beginning, and like Big T, who went home day 1 on her first season lost the elimination to Georgia, and who's not a physical threat at all. And so again, I won't mind seeing him again. But after it's over, TJ just like, well, go back up there. He doesn't get to pick. They didn't even give him the option if he wanted to stay on the team or pick or do whatever else. And so that's when people start like, whoa, what's going on? Is it the final? Whatever. And then TJ's like, we got the night of eliminations, and now 2 more people are going home. And that's where it ends. We don't know what it means. I'm intrigued by it.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to this.
Yeah, I what's going to suck is if you just have some like one-off weird thing, and like CT, it goes into like a fluke elimination. And
I tell you what would be neat is like, all right, so you have one game with all 10 competitors.
At the same time?
Well, I'm saying like you divide the genders, right? And so like,
but they all have to like fight to the death.
The winner of the first game, male and female, secured their spot. Now you go to another one. So you're adding
a separate game.
Yeah,
and then
until you
it's
get
so you're not
to-
necessarily going home if you lose, but you
Right.
have to win to
You
go to
have
the
to
final.
So round.
I don't think that's what it's going to be, but that's
Yeah.
I think that
but
would
you're
be
saying
cool.
like round 1 is
Oh, God.
again.
I hit that
That's the
before.
same one. Round 1 is the 5 guys going at
The
it,
burgers,
trying to win, and then CT wins. So then round 2 is the remaining 4 guys are fighting for the next spot.
Yeah.
Okay. Until you get to the last 2, and whichever one
so
loses
you're
is
so
the one
you're
that goes
saying
home.
do all 5 in something at the same time, almost like a daily.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
like where there's like the ball in the middle of the pit, and you got to get it and get it to your base, and if you win that, you're safe. I wouldn't mind that. I have a feel. Well, I was about to say I have a feeling it's going to be one-on-one things, but you have an odd number of guys and girls.
Yep. It's
You
5
have-
of each.
You have.
5 of each because
Yeah.
TJ said there's 10 players left.
I know, so you can't just do one-on-one things. So, I hope it's not if you lose. It can't be. It can't be the first person to lose goes home. Like, that just doesn't even make any sense. Why would you get everyone like dressed up? And because we saw in the preview for next week, they're all in they've changed into their uniforms and all that. So I think it would almost have to be win and you're in.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that you go home, but you've lost a chance to secure yourself into the final. Which I like that better because these people have done enough to like get this far. What would suck for someone like Emmanuel is to win and then have to go in again and immediately lose and go
then
home.
lose.
I think so. Let's do odds right now. Like who's the guy that would be the one to probably go home? I think it's got to be between Emmanuel and Emmanuel and Devin,
Devin.
depending on the elimination.
I think so.
What if it's puzzle stuff?
Well, then Nelson's kind of screwed. But
that's the thing. It's all dependent on what
exactly
what the elimination is.
If it's a puzzle and it's Devin versus Nelson, you got your money on Devin.
Yeah.
But like almost anything else, Nelson's a freak in eliminations.
Yeah.
CT's the best all around by far.
He'll do great in puzzles and physical stuff.
Emmanuel's kind of the wild card because we just don't know outside of endurance.
I don't know if he's somebody that is good at puzzles or
that's what I'm saying.
Brute strength.
I would think Emmanuel's definitely smaller than everyone else there. So anything strength related, I think he would be at a disadvantage. Now, if it was Devin versus Emmanuel, like endurance thing, I think Emmanuel's got it. But
Or speed.
I think on the girls' side, I think Nani's your weak link, easy. No, Amanda. I think that's a toss up.
It's between them two.
Yeah. I don't know Amanda's like elimination stats.
It's not good.
Well, neither are Nani's,
But
are they?
Probably not, but like Nani's are probably skewed because she's had more pair seasons. Amanda's wins, I think, were with Nelson in that one season they were on together.
But that's because she was partnered with Nelson, who is crazy good at eliminations.
I think it's a 50-50 Nani or I think if Tori or Casey go home, that's a huge knock on their legacy in the challenge.
Speaking of Casey, her outfit to this elimination
Derek K outfit
was a
Derek
K outfit.
Yeah, I don't know. But
whereas when Derek wore it in the All-Stars house, he got roasted to his face by people, and it seemingly Casey, nobody said anything.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
She's too humble.
Yeah. They were also like during the elimination just cuddling in the back. Did y'all notice that?
No.
Her and Nani were just hugged up, just cuddling
Didn't see
in the
it.
back.
Maybe it's cold.
I think they're weird, man.
She
you know what? She probably did it out of humility, though. Who am I?
I'm very interested to see what next episode is. Just because we've not seen anything like this. We've not seen it's almost like a Royal Rumble type thing.
That's what I was trying to think of.
Were you?
Yeah, I couldn't think of the name for it.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it's going to be that to where you knock someone out and they're done.
I love a Royal Rumble. I'm going to tell you what Nani and Casey are.
Okay.
Royal Rumble.
I am in no way, shape, or form against PDA. Okay,
I am. I hate PDA.
I'm a fan of
You're
it
a fan of
to
watching
an
it.
extent. I don't like watching. No, but I believe it. There's a level. There's a threshold, right? Like
he's gonna be one of those old men that's like, yeah, kiss her.
It can be tasteful, like as far as like not disruptive, right? Like you can do it without drawing attention. But there are always those couples. We went to schools, public schools, private schools for you, Zach. But regardless, there were always those couples that they could be at a high school basketball game and they are just. It's a miracle they weren't like sewn into each other's bodies. They were just so close, right? Like settings you shouldn't be like
Human Centipede.
Yeah. That's
Stop.
what
they were sewn
That's
together.
what Nani but nobody likes those people.
Nobody likes doing that.
And nobody ever likes those people. That's what Nani and Casey are. To me, it's just like y'all are sitting
like you're singing
y'all are
it.
sitting there watching an elimination, and Nani's got her little head laid over on Casey's shoulder, and it's just like y'all are weird. What a weird. I don't know. We talk about and I hate being these old heads, right? Like, well, how it used to be back in the day. I don't like doing that. But the fact is, when did you ever see any of these people cuddled up on the other during an intense elimination? When?
Well, to be fair, we don't know how long they were doing that. Again, that could have been an hour.
I think it depends on the people. We could probably go back 10, 15 seasons and find some of these house couples.
I'm not doing it.
Who have done it. But if it was something really nail biting, you should be really engrossed in what's going on.
What was the one elimination a couple seasons ago where it was they had to pivot at the last minute, and it was Tony and Bananas versus Natalie and someone else, and it was they just had to stand somewhere.
Pauly.
And it took 5 hours.
Can't believe you forgot Pauly.
He deserves to be forgot at this point. But that's different. At some point you're gonna be I'm so tired. You're so humble. I gotta lean on you. I don't feel like this one took nearly that long, but who knows? I am
you weren't there.
I am excited for next week. I hope it's something cool. I hope it's not, hey, we're gonna play tic-tac-toe on fire or duct tape you to a chair and see what happens. Like, it could be bad. It could be really bad. I have a feeling it's not going to be because so far these eliminations have all been pretty solid this season. Mm-hmm. And they've all been different. I wonder if it's going to be like a gauntlet. Like, all right, you've seen these. Now we're going to run them back for all the ones we've had this season.
Or what was the season where when you were up for elimination, you had to like pick a square at random and like whatever, like almost like flipping cards, and whichever one, when you turn it over, whichever it was, if it was endurance, strength,
I don't
or
remember.
puzzle, like that was the was the type of elimination that you had to do.
I want to say like on the duel one, or it could have been the gauntlet one, that there was like 4 eliminations. And, like, you had to do them, and once you've done it, it's X'd off until all of them have been done, and then you restart the cycle. But, again, it's been a while since I've seen those seasons.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Let's get into superlatives for the episode. Who smashed some heads?
TJ's Night of Eliminations.
Well, that's technically next week.
His announcement for it.
Well, that's fine. What's yours? I got mine.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's CT. I mean, CT destroyed that elimination, and his team single-handedly is safe because of it. Because of him and because he's so good at this.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Nani smashed my head with all the humility talk.
Yeah.
The pride. She's proud.
Which is the opposite of humble. Which is the opposite of
talking
humility.
About how what is the she's proud of Casey, and the pride she like operates in, like Pride Rock.
You did a fist pump just for the people listening.
I'm not making
Pride Rock.
I'm not making.
What is it's like where the
I'm getting in my own head. I'm not making. I'm not.
Is that where it was?
Isn't that? There's that Plymouth. That's Plymouth Rock.
No, in the Lion King.
Oh.
Pride Rock is
Pride Rock.
Yeah. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So who got their head smashed?
Me, with Logan going home.
Again,
I don't want to watch the rest of the season.
Well, that's kind of
insane.
I made that note before the announcement of the Night of Eliminations, but I really had decided I didn't want to watch the rest of the season
because of him.
Because of him going home in this stupid elimination.
That's kind of weird, Han.
Yeah,
I've been that upset with this season.
But Nam was on this season.
Yeah, I know. That's part of it. I said I've been that upset with this season.
Oh, I'm next.
Yeah, go ahead.
Who got their head smashed? I'm not. I don't feel like Logan deserves it because like that elimination is it's a toss up.
It was a crapshoot.
Who's gonna fall first or whatever? So, you gotta give it to Nelson. Continue to break that daily streak for the most eliminations.
The fact that he used aspects.
And special shout out to the Oklahoma City Thunder last night.
Oh,
that were down by 78 points at one time. So
I am gonna give it to anybody that was not the Sapphire team because Kyle called everybody losers.
He did.
He did.
Yeah.
Just for like 5 minutes straight. So what's pop culture recommendation for the week?
My pop culture person of the week is Joanna Gaines. She has done wonderful, beautiful things with Fixer Upper, and then she is such an entrepreneur that she started her own network called the Magnolia Network, and she's got a bakery and her own home goods and her own collection of paint.
Jake, do you know them? Do you know Joanna Gaines?
I'm aware of Chip and Joanna.
Okay, so he's the only person I've ever noticed their hands when he's on TV because they are tiny.
He's got little hands.
He has very
have
small little hands.
That's a problem.
Also, weirdly, this is a reference for us. The very last episode of Fixer Upper, they built a house for Mike Herrera, the bass player and lead singer of MXPX.
How about that?
Yeah, it was real strange.
What are the odds?
You like Mike?
Yeah, I like MXPX still. Yeah. I sold some of their records this week for like $200 a piece.
That's good money.
Yeah. So you want me to go or you want you to go?
I want me to go.
Okay.
We're
not going to have the same one, I can guarantee you.
I'm going to throw it back a little bit. I think this movie is in my top 5. When people talk about their top 5 favorite movies of all time.
Let me guess. My dog Skip.
No, but that's top 10. That's top 10.
That's a top 10
That's a
movie
top
for
10.
you?
I'm not saying this isn't best movies. I'm not saying best movie. I'm saying movies I most enjoy.
Top 10.
That means your best movies.
Yeah, it's solid. Maybe top 15. Maybe not top. I'd definitely give it top 15.
I think that's...
I'm going.
You shamed him into
I'm
10
going
to 15.
with the Brendan Fraser Mummy movies.
Those are good.
They're incredible. They just are.
It's the last
especially
great
the
thing.
first one. The first one. Let me take that back. The first two. The third one is
The CG
trash.
on the third one's real bad.
It's rough.
It's bad. Well, the CG on the second one's real bad too. I watched it today, but it's still fun. But that first one is flawless to me. It's just, when you're talking about just like mindless, goofy fun. They got the perfect kind of characters in that movie. It is just fun.
The cast
It's
was
fun
good.
action. Yeah, that is Brendan Fraser at his peak.
Did he do anything significant after that?
Yeah.
He did a few things.
He did some stuff. He's actually like on like a renaissance like right now. Like he's in a lot of stuff that's coming. He's on that DC show, the what's it called? It's not Teen Titans, but it's
The Eternals.
It's not the Eternals. It's something where he's like a robot type thing, and then he's
iRobot.
Cyborg.
No, you guys are all wrong. But he actually he's in a couple other things I saw that are coming up too. For me, I almost went with Eskimo Callboy because they had a new single that came out today.
Oh, I need to listen to that.
I love
I need to
Eskimo
listen to that.
I watched the video earlier. But I'm going with the TV show How To with John Wilson because there's a new episode tonight. It's season 2 premiered last week. It's just a weird, awkward guy doing like documentary style things on HBO about New York City.
They're
and
funny.
It never goes in the direction you think it's going to go, and it's executively produced by Nathan Fielder from Nathan For You, and it's just one of the most bizarre, funny things. They got into real estate last week, and they talked to a guy who is just a full-time realtor in the game Second Life, and about how he has to like evict people and how people buy with real money property in Second Life from him, and he just hangs around like at his little virtual area all day long, hoping someone comes and talks to him.
You know that episode of The Office when Dwight is really upset about Angela, and Jim brings to Pam. He's like, he's to even further remove himself from reality. He's created a character called Dwight in Second Life.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Oh, well, I can't. I'm not going to get into their name on here, but we know someone in real life who got so into Second Life that he left his wife for someone in the game and would go to this person's church and just sit in Second Life in their church and listen to them sing, and it became such a thing that they got divorced and left their real spouse. Yeah, I'll have to tell you later. It's a wild
Do
ride.
I know this person?
Yeah, you both know him. We'll
that's a small pool of people if we both know them.
just remind me. Just remind me later.
That's crazy.
So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. How to? It's very People of New York-esque.
Yes, but like, it's not going to like it's gonna say about real estate, but it's gonna end up in a thing that you're not expecting. And so, again, it's on HBO Max if you got that. And it's just great. So, let's get into the fantasy stuff.
Okay, y'all ready?
Yeah.
Get your list up, Zach.
It's already up.
Where's our sponsor?
We got you want to build muscle?
P3.
Hey, we get a round of applause for Emmy. Actually, M-Dog walking into the house, 10 points. No more cold showers for Emmy, 5 points. Nobody wants CT in the final. -5 to CT. It sucks not to be wanted. 10 points to CT for the family call. He's taking care of the bad guys, 5 points. And getting the ice cream money, 5 points. Emmanuel wants to move to the U.S. Solid move, 5 points. And pay his mom's debts, 5 points. We've got memories of a broken engagement for Tori, -10. Never a good time.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Emmanuel has a feeling Tori is going to win. 5 points to Tori. Winning is the only thing that makes Logan happy. I'm gonna give him -10.
Maybe that's why he was a demon and he didn't have a soul and all that.
Yeah. We got a Nelson upside down visor look backwards too. 5 points. Devin at one point just screams bombs away, baby. 5 points. Let's see. All right, so I gave each person 5 points for each time they scored.
Okay.
And -5 for each time they
so
dropped.
Can you give me a total for each?
Yeah, so CT is 35.
Wow.
Because he got 7.
Yep.
Right?
Can we go down in order of my list? Can I just tell you a name and you tell me? Or is that too hard?
No, I can do that.
Give me Amanda.
-10. Now, there are other points associated, like, within the game, but as far as these...
Yeah.
Emmanuel.
Is it 10?
-5.
Oh, wait, but he got some...
But I'm saying whether they dropped the bomb or they fell off, that was negative points.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
gotcha. All right, Amy.
Emmy. Where is she? -5.
Nelson.
-15.
Dang. Nani.
-5.
Casey.
5.
Kyle.
Kyle, where is he? He's up here. Kyle. Okay, his is -15.
Devin.
Devin,
He'll be positive.
10.
Yeah.
no, I'm sorry, 15.
Okay.
15.
Logan.
Logan is
Probably 10.
10.
Yeah. And then Tori.
-15.
Okay, that's everybody.
Okay, CT explains daily, -15.
Yeah.
Emmy starts tripping out, -10. CT is a ballerina, 10 points. Also the greatest man alive, 10 points. These are all per Emmy.
Yeah.
He also does Kung Fu Panda impersonations, 5 points. Let's see. We're going to give CT an additional 15 for getting all 7 and just purely dominating the whole thing. Emmanuel is swinging balls of love, 10 points. Weird Amanda confessional where she tells Tori to die, -10. Logan simply says you have to be a ninja, 5 points. Devin has an absolute cannon, 10 points.
It is accurate, too.
Nani at one point said it could be a guy's day or a girl's day, -5. It's a guy's day.
Yeah.
Like, what planet is she on,
I mean,
man?
to be fair, there was, right after the guys' elimination, the night of eliminations is happening. So, technically, it is a girl's day, too.
Well, Emmanuel also said if it is a guy's day, -5. It's a guy's day. Amanda drops on purpose, -15. So does Nani, -15. We don't award giving up here. We're real militant about that.
You said you didn't like militant people.
Well, Nani and Amanda are doing pencil dives, -5. And they can't even get up the ladder, -10. That's to both of them.
Yeah.
You got Nani?
Yeah, I know how to do it.
All right. Emmy is shocked that Emmanuel is so bad with heights. -5 to Emmanuel. TJ calls out Amanda, who still can't get up the ladder. -15. Nani is so proud of Casey. 5 points to Casey. Sapphire wins, so it's 25, 15, and 15 to CT, Emmy, and Kyle.
Yeah, I know.
We get a Let's Go CT chant from Emmy. That's 5 points to CT. Let's see. You want to give CT an additional 10 for his 55th daily win. Kyle walks into the house.
You know why? Because 5 + 5 is 10.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Kyle walks into the house, just starts yelling, "I'm a winner." He also calls everyone losers. 10 points to Kyle and -10 to everyone not on Sapphire. So that is...
I know who's not on Sapphire.
It's everybody but...
I CT, Emmy, and Kyle.
That's right. You just let me know when you're ready, boss.
well, you do these things that take forever.
We ain't got nowhere to be. I actually do have somewhere to be.
All right, I'm good.
Kyle also calls himself the greatest competitor, challenge competitor of all time. A little bit of a delusion, but we'll give him 5 for confidence. Let's see. A nice dinner out for everyone. 10 points to everybody.
Oh,
dang it.
he hates when you do this.
I really do.
Well, at least this is everybody. You don't have to like...
But at that point, it's a wash. He's just like, you know what? They had a nice time. Let's enjoy it. It doesn't matter. Like, it ultimately doesn't add anything to the game.
You know what we need to start doing, like, next season is, like, keeping track of, like, everybody's points throughout the season. So we know, like, who is the top
great.
scorers.
So more math
No, you
for
already
me.
do. You already do that. You just put that number out beside that person, right?
Not on here.
That's the change, right?
Yeah, so it's just more work
You're just
for me.
volunteering him to do a lot more work.
At one point, I swear, Casey and Nani blow my mind. Casey asked, "Have you heard of anyone volunteering to go in?" -10.
Because we have.
No, but like who at
No
this
one
point who
volunteer.
would?
Yeah. Big T wanted to because no one wanted her on their team and she wanted to go to Emerald, but
Tori is Ruby until death, 5 points. Logan is a man of the team, 5 points. When they get into deliberation, Emmy just wants to see who is real and who is not. 5 points to Emmy. -10 to Nelson. He's no physical aspect. Nelson simply says he will die down there. 5 points. You want -5? That's what it is. -5. We don't like death. Emmy and Emmanuel come from the same hood. 5 points. Let's see. We're gonna give -25 to Logan. He got compromised. Tori doesn't want anyone to leave. -5, because someone's got to leave.
yeah.
Casey wearing the same outfit that Derek K gets made fun of for. -5. Manuel voted in. -25. Devin has a finals dance. 5 points. Logan had a quote, if you break your word once, it's going to follow your whole life. It's really dark. We'll give him 5. Logan is a demon. -5. He's on fire. -5. Has no soul. -5. And is already dead. -10.
Oh.
He also doesn't give an F anymore. -5. Real bad run there.
It's about to get worse.
Jumping over obstacles is Emmanuel's thing. 5 points. Tori is verbally rooting for Logan. 5 points to Logan. But emotionally rooting for Emmanuel. 5 points to Emmanuel. Logan isn't going to stop until the leg breaks. 5 points. Why are Nani and Casey cuddling in the back? -10.
Great.
Oh, yeah, they're both on your team.
That's a personal score.
Amanda explains the elimination. -15. Emmanuel wins. 75. Logan loses. -50. Happy Emmy. 5 points. Emmanuel just drank Logan's blood. -10 to Logan. Emmanuel says, I hate to say it, but I won, Logan. It's a weird thing to hate to say. -5. Logan is still Ruby until death. We'll give him 10. He didn't get money, but he got friends. 5 points. And according to him, that is the best present. 10 points. And that, ladies and gentlemen, are your fantasy points for the week. Once again, brought to you by, you want to build muscle?
P3.
P3. Let's take a quick break. And we're back. One last time. You want to build muscle? P3. Zach, what we got here?
I mean, it's just more the same as what it's been.
Okay.
CT ended up with 155 without an elimination, which is insane. Amanda ended up with -80 without an elimination, which is insane.
Wow.
Emmanuel had 65, and that's with an elimination. And then Emmy had 80, so Jake ended up with 220 for the week.
Hey.
Nelson ended up with -25. Nani ended up with -50. And Casey ended up with -15. Again, none of these people were in eliminations, but Jake gave them all negative. And I ended up with -90 for the week. Hannah had Kyle, who had 65 for the week. Devin had 35. Logan was negative 65, and
That's not
Tori
bad.
was negative 20.
Why did
So
Tori get
for the
negative
week,
20?
she only had 15 points for the week. So I'm still in third place with 1460. Hannah is in second with 1800, and then Jake is commanding in first with 2900.
Mm-hmm. Not a lot to be said here, folks. I think this thing's pretty much a wrap.
I mean, it's been that way for a while.
Yeah.
Since basically, let me look.
I'd say since week 5.
Yeah, week 5.
Week-
and we're at week 17.
Week 4 was the closest, and then after there, it just went crazy.
I got a stacked team, guys.
You could argue collusion.
Yeah.
We'll put it out. We'll put that out in the ether for the conspiracy theorists.
Great, because I finished dead last by a lot last season.
But you
Didn't
also
nobody say anything
you
then.
changed the points this season.
Yeah, but that.
Oh
has
yeah,
no
after
bearing.
a devastating loss, all the points
You-
flip, and now you're
Those
You
four,
did
points
change
apply
the
to
points.
everybody.
You're
You
4
can't
million
do that.
ahead of
No,
everybody
those
else.
Points apply to everybody.
Well, guys, if you want,
Sorry, I picked the best team. You know,
check me out in BuzzFeed, also,
Amazon.
and Amazon. You know, just look for my reviews. Patreon.com/SmashingHeadsPodcast. SmashingHeadsPodcast.com/store is the merch, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Smashing Heads on Twitter, at Smashing Heads Podcast on Instagram and Facebook, and I believe that's it. Right?
no, you did good.
All right.
Have a good night, everyone.